setting university students up for what university may not teach them.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit.
I'm excited about the NZ youth, mate. They're going to get us out of this slump. They're our future. Today, heading into BDO, which is amazing to go behind enemy lines, another accounting practice, and speak to their year group of interns and show them some of the things that have been helpful throughout my career. We're going to look at standing out, which is not very popular in New Zealand, some income levels, status and survival pyramid, and why purpose is really important in their life as well, goals and goal setting, and why so many people don't actually like the work that they're doing, and what we can do to make sure that that isn't the case for us. It's the way, Tom. Good to see you, buddy. If you ask most people what would you do if you won Lotto, they'll list all the ways they'll spend it.
I was just wondering, what do you do to have believe in yourself and keep going?
Teach them nice and early so that they can be the best version of themselves, because these are the people that we need to be leading the country in the future. Let's get into it. I think this is the building. This looks more like NZME. I can see the logo in my head, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, we're over here where the big dogs work, mate, in the media space, the radio space. Not battlers like me, plugging away with the podcast. R18, getting told off for swearing all the time. Be more like Mike Hosking. I'm not that rich, I'm not that good looking, and I'm not that aggressive. Well, actually, I probably am. Whoa. How are you, mate? Well, Luke, yeah, you too, buddy. I might just write some things up on the whiteboard.
Man.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Not very dark. We might not be doing do not use on a whiteboard. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a whiteboard. I'd hate to. Yeah, cool. Okay, we're on. What else do we need to talk about, mate? Got any ideas? Hour and a half? Easy.
And then reality of coming out of uni.
Yes. Cheers. One of those each.
How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Very good, thanks, Tom.
That's the way, Tom.
Yeah,
good to see you, buddy.
Do you work with Phil?
I do.
Very good.
Yeah, it's my business partner.
Oh, very good.
Is 4 at this table, or is there an extra?
Just 4.
4, okay. How are we? That's good. 4, 5. There we go. One of those each. Oh, there we go, team. No worries. Firstly, I've got Rit with me today. He helps me create a bit of content, which I'll talk about today as well. And that's been the bedrock of me building up my own accounting practice. Is everyone okay to be filmed or end up on camera? Cool. It's always the baby boomers that have the objections. So a bit of background. I was studying to be an accountant, much like you guys, probably 15 or so years ago. I got interested in business and accounting and math when I was at high school. And it was very much, okay, from there we go to university and that's the thing to do. But then I went on to Audit New Zealand and I got an internship at Audit New Zealand. And then I went back to uni, finished that off, and then got started in auditing. And it was a phenomenal place to learn. So into my auditing career, I learnt relatively quickly that I probably wasn't going to make it in auditing. My career got better later on when I realised I didn't need to know everything. I needed to know how I could find that answer. So if I could find somebody that did know the answer, or I could just have the confidence to say, I'm not sure, rather than making shit up on the spot, people respected that more. So back to my first red flag, and we finished the communication piece, and the lady who had come in to run it held 4 of us back. And she said, look, you guys aren't going to make it here. And I'm thinking, whoa, did she see what we were doing last night? Because it was down in Wellington for a week, and admittedly we did have a few drinks throughout the week. And she said, I've been doing this training for a number of years, and you guys want to be at manager level, but you need to go through the different steps. You can't just jump from here to management level. You'd probably be perfect at that in time, but you can't skip the steps. They won't let you do that. So my prediction is that you 4 won't last here. I've got this here because I want to touch on this today. We're going to go in all sorts of different directions, but this is very important. you need to understand that your interests are very important because they'll keep you energetic, but also your clients and the businesses and the people that you work with, if you're not interested in them, they won't really care that you just want to talk about accounting. Like they will, to build relationships and build rapport and gel with people, you have to be interested in other people. So a good way to become interested in yourself is to be interested in other people, but to have interests of your own. So what I come to learn is that people will see you as the accountant, but they'll also be interested in like, what else are you doing? And if you can sort of mash those together, you've got a very beautiful skill set that you can apply into other areas of your life. And you may go further than other people who just try and purely stick like technical, because you've still got to be able to build relationships and build up personable skills. But of course, you can then take the things that you're learning via accounting and you can put them into your interests as well. 8 out of 10 people in all of these offices around here are going to work and they're not really that engaged in their work. I'm going to have to swear again, but I am from Dannyburg. Fucking seriously. Like, is that what we want life to be about? Maybe for a season, right? We've got to cop that. Okay, it is what it is. And I had those seasons. Okay, I'm not that engaged in it, but I'm learning a lot here. And I can take this to my next thing. Someone said to me the other day, the average employee does 18 to 20 jobs in a year. In a lifetime. So you will move jobs. So you want to make sure that you're doing things that you are interested in. That we live in this world now where it's basically like, you should be able to start a podcast and have 100,000 viewers. If you want anything, you can go online, you can swipe for it, you can get it delivered. So we live in this, I want everything to happen quickly. And I was making a piece of content yesterday, I'm saying it takes like 9 months for a baby to be developed before it enters the world. And we're sitting here going, I want my dream life in 6 months. Like what happened? That's wild. So good things take time. And, you got everyone at the moment talking about NVIDIA, it's the largest company in the world. And that started in 1993. What if they gave up in 2003, 2013? None of us would even know what it is. But things keep snowballing if they are what you are interested in. So have interests outside of work. It is so important. Because if you're not engaged in the work that you're doing and the season that you're in, then this will make you feel a bit better. Otherwise, you're going to turn to stupid things. Like when I worked in a meatworks, I hated it. And on a Friday, I'd be like, you know what I'll do to make it better? I'll just get pissed. Epic. And I was so excited on a Friday afternoon. I'd be like, holy shit, man, 3 hours. And we get to just get a box of Cody's bourbons. What the hell? But this is literally like the level of education or the way that I had learned or thought was a good way to cope with it. Eventually, I'm like, I was doing work that I was really disengaged with. I wasn't interested in it. No wonder I was trying to find a way to cope. Now, I want to take you through this triangle, but this is something that I learned. I went to a conference in America last year, right? They talked about this triangle, which is you could see I didn't win any bloody art awards or drawing awards, okay? So I stuck to math and accounting and business. So most people are going through life and they are in survival mode. And the next mode after survival mode is status mode. So some of you will be familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs that you may learn at uni. And once you see this, you sort of can't unsee it. And you'll see people's Instagram comments. You'll see the way that they see the world. And I'll take you through each of these steps. And then we go to freedom and then we go to purpose. And I'll tell you why this is really important, because it's important for yourself, but it's important for the work that you'll end up doing as well, no matter who you work for. Most business owners, when I say to them, like, what do you want to achieve? This is one of the key words that they'll come up with. Freedom. I want financial freedom, business freedom. I want to be able to play golf on a Friday, but I'm working 6 days a week. And so that's what they want me to help them with. How can I be doing more of that? Now, I went to a webinar the other day from Ia Lu, and she helps people get into e-commerce if that's their thing. There was 500 people on this webinar, and she asked people, why are you here? What is it that you're wanting to achieve? Why are you interested in this? Financial freedom, opportunities, options. I want to have more money than I need. All coming back to freedom, right? So this is what a lot of us are aiming for. And we've sort of been taught, like we want that freedom and we want choice. But for 67% of people, we're stuck here between survival and status. Now, when we're at uni, we're probably in survival mode. I just need to get through to my next student allowance payment. Or if I sell 20 more Feijoas, I'm going to have enough money to go out tonight. That was Luke in survival mode back at uni. Now, we can stay there our whole life, and we have to be careful of that. And please, I'm not shitting on people that struggle financially. But for a lot of us, we should be aware of this, and we should be careful not to stay here because we've been given every possible opportunity to not be there. And this is the sort of work that we can be doing in our careers, and we, have the opportunity to do that. But we can stay here. I'll say it, but I don't like saying this, like the system, let's say, can keep you there, okay? So you've got to be aware of it. So survival mode is paycheck, week to week. Hey, have a think about, doing something different. Oh, easy for you to say. How the hell would I do that? I can't afford to do that, like defensive. And that is a lot of people. Now, how do we get out of survival mode? A, we need to know that we're there to start with. And then we've got to figure out, okay, once I've got my basic needs met, like where to from there. And again, it's a body of work. I did an entire podcast over an hour to try and unpack that, of how to escape it. But what happens for a lot of us is that once we're through survival mode, we then think, okay, the next mode is status mode. And that is buy the nice car. It is buy the nice things. Show people that I'm doing well. Because we're sick of this life. Now we've got a bit of money. So someone said to me the other day, I've been listening to your podcast, and I did some of the things you said to say, and I finally got a pay rise because my goal was to get a pay rise and start investing. But now I want to start enjoying that money a bit more. So now they're torn. They've got themselves out of survival, and then they've got the pay rise, and the goal was get the pay rise, start investing to probably start aiming for freedom, and then they're like, I want to enjoy the cash, And that's what all of us are tempted to do. So the goal of freedom has to be strong enough for us to go, okay, I can see what's happening and I can see why I want to do this, but maybe I don't need to. Now, why are we chasing status? It could be psychological things that we've gone through as children. We want to be important. We've got a chip on our shoulder. But society does this to us as well. Go to Eddie Magazine, Instagram these days. Yo, look what they've got. Far out. I want that as well. So we get caught in this comparison trap. Oh, my life would be great if I had what they had. But you don't actually know how their life is, And hopefully you've done a lot of learning in that space. But basically 2/3 of people, they'll get out of survival and then they'll basically put themselves back in there, but in another form. And what that will look like is I ticked up a Beamer. I am using buy now, pay later. I am using a credit card. I'm not struggling, but deep down you're not ultimately happy with your financial situation. But I can't do anything. You've got buy now, pay later. Then you've got multiple buy now, pay laters, etc. as well that you've committed your future income to, right? So we can't really move because we've got to get out of that status piece first. So then we've got to try and figure out why do we want these things, and that's a you job. You've got to figure that out. But the pressure will come on you as soon as you leave university, and you even start to see it at uni. When I was there, it was $1,000 overdraft from one bank. I wasn't even banking with them. We'll give you $1,000. I'm like, epic. You can go to the pub on Thursday night. $1,000 with this bank. And then you start to get caught in this debt trap where you're trying to, live ahead of your means. So something to be very mindful of, because you'll constantly be bombarded and marketed to hand over your money. But I think this is where the deep, work happens up here. And there was a real big push maybe 5 years ago where it was like find your why and your purpose and all this stuff, which is really cool, but only a very small percentage of people know what their purpose is and are working in something that they are using their purpose. So for most people, they just want to know they don't have to worry about money. They want to be able to have choices and do the things that they really want to do. And unfortunately, it means that we've got to try and escape these two and put some money aside to then buy ourselves options in the future. That's all investing is basically, I won't spend this now and I won't commit it to future debt repayments. I will invest into the future, and then one day I'll be able to use that money for something. If you ask most people, what would you do if you won lotto? They'll list all the ways they'll spend it, because they're probably revealing, their personality type. But the odd one will be like, I would invest it into the S&P and I would draw down slightly on it. I'd have more money. You're like, okay, mate. But and they're like, why would you spend it? That's stupid. And if you can get good at helping people get closer to their goals, you should always be able to make $1. And that doesn't really matter what industry you're doing that in. Take personal trainers, for example. they are the same thing. Okay, I'm in this shape, or I have these goals and I need some accountability to achieve it. They're helping that person get closer to their goals. So that's why I have that there at number 3. It's very, very important to remember. You want to have goals for yourself, and then you want to look for people who can get you there faster. But if you can help people get closer to their goals, people will respect you, they'll be happy. You'll find that people that you're going to be working with in this organisation, they'll have goals, like deadlines or projects that they need to finish. And if you can help them get them there faster and take some pressure off of them, they will remember you. Okay? So you've got to be thinking about, how can I slot in? How can I help? It's not about like what you want to do. This is what I was doing in my early career. I want to be doing this stuff. The lady's saying to me, Sunshine, you got to go through the steps first. We need you to do this stuff. You're trying to be over here. So I was in the wrong, vehicle as such. But if you can find things that you can do to help other people, normally the world will reward you in return. I've sent invoices for over 6 figures now. I tell you what, it's way better when someone's like, you changed my life. Shit, I'm glad that you helped me with that. It's way better currency than money. So I'm not saying avoid making money, but you come to learn that sort of once you get past that okay, I've got what I need, you start to look for other things, which is part of this triangle. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. Good luck, and embrace this opportunity that you've got, because other people, you have to remember, other people would love to be sitting here. And some of them are dealing with imposter syndrome. Some of them are having to tell their parents, man, I thought I was hot shit at uni, but they didn't get me in that room. They didn't get me in these rooms, trust me. Okay? So make the most of it and don't waste it, and try and squeeze it for as much as you can as well. And good luck in your careers, and I'll be keeping a watchful eye out, and please don't move to Australia.
I mean, it's sort of like that block is like, oh, I'm not an entrepreneurial person, but I want to be, and it's like how do you get past the jitters, like, oh, like this isn't for me, or like, oh,
Yeah. I try and keep it simple. I say, if you can solve a problem for someone, you can probably monetize it, and that's all entrepreneurship is, and that's what business is. You've got a problem, I can solve it. Yeah.
At some point in my life.
Yeah. There's no rush. Got anybody? Cheers for saying hello. Yeah.
So I just recently started like a rentals business.
Wow.
Because a lot of people love my clothing style and borrow it. So I was like, oh, why not start a rentals business? So
Good on you.
I was just wondering, what do you do to like have believe in yourself and like keep going? Because a lot of people, I don't know, like I feel like I kind of lack self-confidence, but then I started it for a reason, and I think a big thing is like me starting it in general. That was the first step. So like, how do you just believe in yourself, and like, how do you find a mentor, and like, I just don't know,
Well, firstly, I think everyone struggles with this, and people think that they lack self-confidence, but you probably got more than you realise. I often talk to business owners, they still struggle with this at year 3, 4, 5, but they'll have data that the market wants what they do. So has anyone rented the dresses?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's data that it works, right?
Yeah.
So that should be confidence that you're doing the right thing. The market is telling you, like, well done, I'll transact.
Yeah.
So then you want to lean on that. Yeah. And then you've got to figure out, where is this lack of self-confidence coming from? But everybody struggles with this in some way, because our identities are trying to almost catch up with like who we think we can be. And sometimes we're already that person, but we think we need something external or something else. Like you might need 1,000 people to hire something, you'll be like, oh, I'm really confident. But if you've already got 1 or 10,
I think that's it.
so it's actually, you've got to step into it. Yeah. Because once you didn't do it, you would have been scared to list the first one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it took courage, right?
Months,
yeah. So it takes courage to step into that person and be like, you know what? Like I am this person. I am doing it, and that noise in the back of your head will always be there in some way, shape, or form anyway. So you got to try and like turn it down or turn it off. And the beautiful thing about my business and your business is that the worst thing that can happen is someone says, you gave me the wrong dress, that sucked, I spilt this on it, and you solved the problem, and you'll be forced to. Same with me, I could do a speaking gig, you weren't very good, you swore too much, you know what, I'm not going to send you an invoice. Oh, well, that's it, But I got 16 more, and they're happy, so I'll lean on the 15 that were happy, and not the one that isn't. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It was great meeting you. I'll connect with you on.
Yeah, do that. Awesome. Nice to meet you. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, it was great.
Brilliant.
It's
nice, mate.
We're just saying, like, it's not been planned, but it's all like sort of blended together.
Oh, that's good.
We're trying to
Yeah.
Time about.
Hour and a half, helping the next generation, get from uni to their first job and just be excited about it. It's an exciting time of the life. Trying to give them some lessons that will serve them to speed up their career and help them go further than they know is even possible.
How do you think the response was?
Pretty good. I think maybe I did too many F-bombs, but they landed. But yeah, some good questions, some smart people in that room, eh? Really cool to see. And yeah, I think they're very engaged, which is always good. I'm excited about the NZ youth, mate. They're going to get us out of this slump. They're our future of the next generation, We've got to look after them mentally as well. That's the gift that keeps giving, mate. Hey, Santa ain't going to deliver that. You've got to sort your shit out yourself. And that's how your life gets better.